One of my favorite parts about being on Hearthstone Twitter is all the wacky decks that you can see from different content. And while Brian Kibler has some of the wackiest decks that I've ever seen in Hearthstone, but I don't even think I can really say what exactly this deck even is. So go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to tell me that you know exactly what this deck is that Brian Kibler hit rank 147 legend with. And is it a tempo deck? Is it an aggro deck? Is this a mid-range deck? Is this a control deck? I really can't even tell you because there's a lot of things that are going on with this deck that is kind of similar to the criminal lineup shaman that I posted a couple of days ago. But the Yogg-Saron Unleashed into cold storage is a synergy that absolutely needs to be respected. Because what other way can you break Yogg other than getting multiple copies of him? But it seems like this is some kind of, I'm just going to say mid-range deck. It's probably a tempo mid-range deck in all honesty. But this is one of those decks that just does things and somehow wins the game. And I had a lot of games with this where I was very close on getting W's. Every now and again when I had some losses, I was like one turn away from being able to stabilize or actually get the win myself. But after playing this deck for a little bit, I can kind of tell you what the game plan of this deck is. Because when I started playing it, I had no idea what to do. I was very confused. I was just probably just keeping cards that were playable, but I don't think that's the way you really want to play this deck. In fact, the way that I think you want to play this deck is that you want to obviously keep the saxophone guy, the soloist, so that way you can keep getting a bunch of value from this card, just playing minions over and over and over again. But I think this deck is pretty much like a deck that is trying to just stick a minion, deal damage, and then end the game with Horn into Turn the Tide's value, which is actually a lot more common than you might think, because if you look really closely at the deck, the only cards that have Overload in this deck that Golganath can actually draw from is the Turn the Tides. So one thing that's very common with this deck is that you can easily just play Golganath in order to draw the only two Overload cards in the entire deck, which does kind of clue your opponent on what you are going to do. But there have been a couple of situations to where my Golganath actually survives, so that way I can play Horn into Turn the Tides in the exact same turn. But this is like the main win condition of the deck, is that you're trying to burst your opponent for that last bit of damage at the very end. So the very beginning of this deck is just trying to stick a minion, get value from Backstage Bouncer, clear boards with Prison Breaker, and then have some disruption available with Speaker Stomper, and then Queen shenanigans for, depending on what you need. You can get a Colossal, you can deal damage with the spell weapon, or maybe you want some card draw. Like, I didn't go for the card draw option personally. I very rarely pick that from the Queen. But just playing spells, going for tempo, and generating a board seems to be the way this deck wins. But it's like, the more that I look at it, it's like, what? Piranha Poacher? Who in their right mind actually plays this card? Like, it's absolutely insane to me that Kibler was able to do so well with this. And he said that he had a really decent win rate with it, albeit he doesn't really have any stats in order to showcase it, unfortunately. But I was able to do fairly well with this deck, and maybe if I were to look hard enough, I could find stats, but from what I've seen so far, I just cannot find anything. But it seems the power of this deck lies in playing spells, having minions on the field, and then using your Horn and Turn the Tides in order to burst the game. And so what I would recommend to keep in the mulligan, if you are crazy enough to try this deck, is you can keep the Asharan Scroll, you can keep Scalding Geyser if you have the scroll. Definitely just keep the Soloist, because you could just keep playing minions with it over and over and over again. And something that actually happened to me a couple of times is I played the minion, I think 3 different instances where my opponent cleared it. They left it up one turn, and then I was able to play a Sharan Scroll for a jam session in order to make the minion a little bit more threatening. So I wonder if jam session actually has a position in this deck, because it is another Overload card that Golganath can draw. But overall, this just seems to be a deck that just does things, catches your opponent off guard, and then you have the randomness not only from the scroll, but the Melomania. This is the very first deck that I have seen anybody even try to make this card worth it. And if you want my honest opinion, I'm not too sure how good this card actually is, because you have Zaps, you have Blazing Mutation, you have a lot of these cards that you can find. But for example, if you find like a Bioluminescence, that's not really the greatest thing in the world. Prescience is probably going to be a dead card more times than not, because you are running cards that are less than 5 mana. There's just a lot of really, well, I'm just going to say it, there's really bad Shaman cards. Like this, for example, maybe you can get some, value out of this, but if you don't have a minion, it feels a little bit rough. Like random Shaman cards have always historically been like either really good or really bad, unfortunately. But one thing that's just really interesting about this deck is that your opponent is going to be very taken off guard. Because if you play, you know, a bunch of piranhas, and then suddenly you have a backstage bouncer, and then you play Speaker Stopper and Prison Breaker, like, your opponent has no idea what is going on. So I think this deck has a lot of surprise factored into it in order to get some of your easy Ws. The mulligan of this deck is just kind of all over the place. Like I said earlier, you can keep the Scroll, you can keep the Geyser, you can keep the Soloist. Lightning Reflexes seems to purely be just a way to discount Yogg, which makes me wonder if there is a reason to run Flash of Lightning. But after looking at the deck, the only nature cards in here are Turn the Tides, Lightning Reflex itself, as well as the random cards that you will find from the Scroll or Mellow Mane. So it seems to be that the way to really utilize this deck is to play like a mid-range deck, and then you have these random tools in order to give you extra sustaining power, so that way you don't have to worry about running out of gas, and you can maybe find some random spells that deal damage, find another Turn the Tides in order to, you know, combo with the Horn of the Windlord. But the main win condition of this deck is the Horn of the Windlord and the Turn the Tides, because that is just dealing 12 damage all in one turn, and depending on, like, if you're going up against Druid or something like that, if you play the Piranhas and they stick, they deal a lot of damage. So I think the best way to play this deck is just to go full in for tempo, spend your mana, just do what you can in order to deal damage, so that way the Turn the Tides, Horn of the Windlord combo is actually a way that you can win games. And one other thing that you can do that I'm just now realizing, and I don't think I did this myself, but if you're on turn 10, you could theoretically pick the Queen Ring, and then on turn 10, you can play Horn into double Turn the Tides in order to deal a lot more damage. You can deal, I think, 18 damage with that, if I counted correctly. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways of being able to play this deck, it seems, because the more that I look at it, the more synergies I tend to notice. But the very first time I looked at this deck, I was extremely confused, but hey, Brian Kibler made it. He hit Legend with it. I was able to do fairly well with it. I think I ended with like a 5-3 or a 5-4 win rate, so not exactly the most crazy thing in the world. But the fact that I was able to maintain a positive win rate with this weird of a deck that plays Piranha Poacher, I think is pretty neat, to say the least. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. We also have a Patreon in case you would like to support the channel and get extra perks and bonuses for doing such. You can get deck optimizations, coaching sessions with me, as well as getting shouted out in future videos. We also have merch in case you guys want to buy a cool shirt and support the content in the process. I absolutely love these badass shirts. These designs were made by people in this community, and I just love showcasing it because I like to think that in the past couple of months, we've done more than just make Hearthstone content. We've actually created a Hearthstone community. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck intro, and we'll see you for the next video. There we go. Tempo what, Shaman? Tempo what? Let's see how we win. There are a lot of really weird cards. Toss everything here. I feel like you're supposed to keep the Scolding Geyser because of combination with Scroll. I don't think I'd play it here, though.
Today, we fight symptoms will be
Turn the Tides.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Just play the Astalor, play the Turn the Tides, hopefully find the Scroll. I just don't think we ever just, like, jam this to the face. Okay. Yeah, this pile of cards, Shaman, yes. That is a very appropriate name for this deck. Definitely need to knock this out. Backstage Bouncer is actually not a bad idea here. Shaman has great design. I would argue that Shaman has very interesting design, but it kind of makes me sad how sometimes Shaman's just, like, not even a playable archetype. Because it really makes me sad when, like, there's really cool cards for Shaman, but they just get outclassed by everything. Dude, what the fuck? Calm it down. We just started the game and you're already trying to end it. Dude, chill. Chill.
Turn down that.
What the fuck?
Our gift of frost shields us.
Oh my god. This is so disrespectful. There are so many streamers that can also, wait. There is so many streamer can also be caster in tournament like Clark. Is it possible? I've done casting before, dude, and I miss it. I wish there were more casting gigs in Hearthstone. I got in on the scene way too late. Like I didn't think about casting until about like 2018, 2019, and then I didn't start getting casting gigs until 2020, and then COVID happened. So what can you do? Kind of unfortunate. Oh my god, you have got to be kidding me.
Turn down that racket.
Muzzle their magic.
The guy does not like spells. I think we can come to that conclusion together. This guy hates spells.
Frost bolts.
I mean, I got a board now. I had to turn a 5/5 into a 4/5, but at least it has taunt now. And I do have this into this. But I think I'm probably gonna do something with Golganeth here. Golganeth into this. This guy just went all in on playing minions, but that's not how he's gonna win. He needs to win with location. He's playing with my feelings. It kind of feels that way. I feel like I'm getting messed with here. So I have Golganeth and Turn the Tides. I'm probably gonna save Piranha so I can work with Melomania. But I really need some healing here, dude. Oh, let's go. Golganeth. Do this. Do this. Give me the Golganeth back. Oh my god, pile of card Shaman winning? Pile of card Shaman? Now I'm playing with his feelings. Pile of card Shaman, dude. Cold Storage OP. It is insane how the stonks on Cold Storage have gone up massively. Like, there's actually a reason to do this now, because the reason why you couldn't play Cold Storage before is because you were getting blown out by turn 6, turn 7. But now you can actually sustain. And if you think about it, double Golganeth discounting my first spell by 6. Oh, I spoke too soon. Regardless. I could honestly just Astalor. Oh wait, I don't have the mana for Astalor. If I play Weapon, and then I like try to go for like Melomania into like the random good Shaman card, that seems pretty good. This really is just Tempo Shaman. My god, what is going on here? I started off 0-3 when I played this deck yesterday, but I don't think I was playing it well. I was also getting high roll. You can Gulg into kill. Oh wait, that's right, because I have the Turn the Tides. I forgot about the Turn the Tides in my deck. I think that's the only reason why Golganeth, like... I mean, there's no other Overload cards. There's no Overload cards in this deck except for that, so Golganeth draw cards just works every single time. Okay, that's fine. It's gonna make big idiot, but I'm gonna have big damage that go big face. No Glacial Shard? That's the real tech card that you needed here, was the Glacial Shard. I really want to play Melomania, but this is just lethal. I could have probably found it randomly. Let's see if I would have found. Oh, he's not gonna let me. He conceded already. Damn it! I wanted to see if I could find it randomly. What can you do? All right, we won with Tempo Shaman though. Good start. It only takes Wind Fury, and then a weapon is busted. I mean, not necessarily. Doomhammer had no support for the longest time, without a buff card. So there are times to where it just doesn't work out. So I think I want to toss all. Okay, what even is the mulligan of this deck? I have no idea. I have no idea what we're supposed to keep in mulligan. So schooling probably, maybe even keep Backstage Bouncer just in case he can't clear everything. I like the idea of keeping Turn the Tides just for tempo. Fuck it. I think I'm gonna do it this way.
Not happen.
Saxophone mulligan? I don't know. The reason I like this is because I can schooling on turn 1.
Welcome. You may bow before.
It's a mirror.
Well met,
It's
friend.
a mirror. Oh my god, it's actually a mirror match. Oh my god, what is happening? What even is happening right now? Oh, sometimes I love Hearthstone. Sometimes I really love Hearthstone. This is one of those moments. Okay, let's hope I can get the Backstage Bouncer value. If he also plays Turn the Tides here, then I can counter with mine, and I still have minion advantage. Oh wait, no I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, because he would be able to attack 3 times. It'd be better if you were in the Totem Rogue mirror. Not everyone is as cultured as we are.
Our gift of the
Alright, backstage bouncer value. And then I have Speaker Stomper going into the next turn. Oh! 3 mana, 3/10, or I'm sorry, 3 mana, 8/10 with taunt. Pretty powerful if I do say so myself. Ooh. This is just an Arena Shaman mirror. I think your opponent agrees. I think he likes the idea of the 8/10 with taunt. It's good tempo. And that's what this is, just really tempo Shaman. Like, I don't know what else to call this. Like random minions. Minions are tempo. Oh man. Okay, well there go my froggy boys. I'm not gonna play Turn the Tides myself, because I have Horn ready to go. In fact, what I think I'm gonna end up doing, I Speaker Stomper, then I set up the Horn of the Windlord, draw with Golganeth in order to get the Turn the Tides, and then I play the other Turn the Tides and win by turn 8. Actually, it'll be turn 7 that I'm doing that. So that's a plan. Okay. It's like a good arena deck. Dude, this is the best arena deck. I faced this guy earlier. I've gone up against a few different people today, just because everyone's playing at the same time. But hold on to the Horn, play Golganeth, draw card, and if I don't end up... Honestly, do I even want it off the Golganeth? Like, do I want to draw it naturally?
Our gift of frost shields.
So I can use Golganeth as like an AoE tool. Well, kind of like that. Not gonna lie, that's actually better. And the reason why it's better is because now I can Golganeth deal 3, also heal 6, and now I've got 15, followed by another 12. So we're looking really good right now. And I can even go so far as to also play Cold Storage on Golganeth. Dude, what is this deck? Is this how we're supposed to win? Brian Kibler, you are a genius. How are you so good at deck building? Tavern Brawl Shaman deck recipe week.
Impressed by my...
Oh crap, there's his Golganeth. I mean, I could just smite him though.
Hear the call of Sargon.
Or do I even care about smiting? I just care about the healing, right? Yeah, I just deal damage.
Impressed by my thundering display. Strength under siege.
Genius. Oh, it's not fair, but I don't care. I can't believe I encountered the mirror. This deck is so good at beating itself. I just ragged a druid for a turn 5 win. With Rag Shaman? Or with this deck and you just happen to find it off of like the scroll. Starting to wonder if Golganeth's like actually a card we're supposed to keep the mulligan now. You found it off scroll? Nice, nice. I've had a few times where I've played Jive from the scroll, but it doesn't happen too frequently. I usually pick the other 2 cards, Geezer and Jam Session. They just seem to work really well. Say goodbye, my love. Aww. Dang it, man. Yo, Dr. Stormrage coming to the follow. Good to see you, dude. Welcome, welcome. I've got Omega Lethal. With the weirdest deck I think I've ever seen in this metagame.
I thank you.
You can't beat the king. You just can't beat the king, bro. I am the master of this mirror. There's no stopping me. But this next year, I am going super hard on content to where hopefully it's going to be able to start paying better than a full-time job. Like, I'm really optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really optimistic, and I'm really hoping that next year I can move out of Indiana. Also, yes, my band is also here, so that's the other main reason why I can't move. Number one is the fact I don't have money. Number 2 is the fact that my band is still here, and we still have some really cool gigs coming up that I definitely want to be a part of. I've got a lot of things that I'm doing, but I would love to leave Indiana. Cosplay as the guy named Clark HELLSCREAM. That could also be a good idea, in all honesty. Oh my god, jam session immediately on turn 2? Oh, that's not fair. Alright, here we go. Random minion time. Random spells. Okay, these are really bad so far. I love the animation on that, but that was not worth it. That was very much not worth it. What is this deck even? It is a Brian Kibler creation, so you have to have at least a couple brain cells in order to understand how this deck functions. And I don't even know how this deck functions, so I'm starting to wonder how many brain cells are left in my brain. I've used up too many as the years have gone by. He's gonna do this for tempo, though. Maybe it sticks. But it's kind of hard for him to deal with this unless he plays weapon.
I'm 7 moves ahead.
Oh, man. I can't really deal with that. Dude, these spells were so garbage, though. Isn't it Horn plus Turn the Tide Shaman? I mean, it is, but what about the rest of the deck? The rest of this deck is trying to make Melomania work, and, like, you have payoff cards like Prison Breaker and Queen and Golganeth in order to, like, complement the spells. Okay. Oh, I should have thrown away the totemic evidence. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking, that's what. Well, I mean, I could just... I could just get it back. Didn't even think about that until now. I'll hit him in the face because I don't want to trigger this immediately. Alright, yeah, I should have thrown away totemic evidence and held on to the cold storage. That would have been significantly better than reducing the amount of yogs I can play this game. I have 2 brain cell to rub together. Only 2? Hey man, all you need is well, really 1 for it to start, you know, duplicating. But if you got 2, that's twice as fast. So you're already learning at an exponential growth. I would say that's very important. Okay, so he doesn't have weapon. I think I'm supposed to queen here.
We have plotted long enough. Now we rise.
I'm gonna go for tempo here. I missed the tournament, huh? Oh, dude, I lost like first round. You didn't miss much. You did not miss much, unfortunately. I just got destroyed. Oh, no. Golganeth? It looks like I need to high roll this. That works? Wait, what's the order here? Attack gear. I have this in order to make sure that this dies.
I will not be rash.
Oh, I fucked up. I fucked up. I knew I'd fuck this up. God damn it. Did I bring Spotlight Paladin? I did, but that's not the reason I lost. I had a meme lineup kind of, and I went up against a bunch of people that were playing meta decks. It was Fino's like tournament that he kind of organized last minute, and I think most people just kind of took it, you know, seriously, because there were packs on the line. So it was just one of those things to where I played. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a meme lineup, and I just got stomped by the meta decks. Double 3/3 must die. If he has another one, GG. It's not GG, but it'll suck. But regardless, I think this is fine. It was really nice to get a minion that did this, but I was like overcomplicating like what exactly needs to die. Really? Okay, that's really good. I could honestly copy it and then I get another one. Okay, hold on. Getting close to chill vibes being really good. Yo, Vino coming in with the raid. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, my lord. We're trying to make this pile of cards shaman work. Who ended up winning the tournament, by the way? Big Rambo, good to see you, by the way, dude. Thank you for the follow. Good to have y'all here. Let's hope that I get the cold storage here, because I really want Yogg to be powerful. Floor is hidden from the view and then... Okay, hold on a minute. You guys want to hear a really trippy song? Wait, where is this?
For my glory.
I think it's this. Oh, wait, it's the end. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Here's the song. Here's the song I want to show you guys. If you like really psychedelic music, this is gonna be really cool. Okay, so I have Yogg. I have a bunch of trades that can happen. I could try to get rid of this and hit the cold storage, which would be really freaking cool if that could happen. I also like the idea of healing. So I'll trade this. Sag. Alright, Yogg, do your thing. Nice. And... okay, that... Not too sure about that one. Not too sure about that one there, mate. Yeah, we're playing Arena Shaman. You came second? Well, at least the guy that I lost to almost won the whole thing. Yeah, but now that trades. God damn it. Did I play Yogg too soon? Watch me immediately top deck the cold storage. I got this into this now in order to clear. And I've got my Horn of the Wind Lord just kind of sitting in hand. At least this guy's got like nothing else in hand. And now I can clear everything. Alright. I mean, we're tempoing. We're doing things. Why not steal the Tori and then kill the taunt? Fantastic question. I didn't think that far ahead because I just assumed Yogg would clear. But now I can start pumping on the gas. Alright, how much damage is this? 16? Bioluminescence into Scalding Geyser. Imagine that winning the game. I have an Overdraft in the deck as well. Random cards that can happen from Lightning Reflexes. Oh my god, he just gives up. There are probably a lot of different things I could have done differently in this game. But we still won.